it's right here on the top, 1.3, solving equations, variables on both sides. That's our title and our page number. So on the one side of your note page, it's a great place to write that. If you want to write what our objectives or learning goals are, they're right here. You don't have to write those. But on the back side of your note page, the sheet you picked up, that's where you're doing your warm-up. There's a place for you to show your work on that back side. Can I borrow that, Brian?
Yeah.
So on the one side, your title and all that stuff goes on up here. On the other side, this is where you show your work for your warm-up. Okay? So there you go. Right now, go ahead and work. You can work with a partner on it, that's fine, but go ahead and go through that. Quick review. Compare those with your neighbors. All right, here we go. Let's see how we did. So 5 times the quantity, whenever we say, have parentheses, we say the quantity. 5 times quantity, u minus 5. What do we have here? Well, we multiply it in. We distribute. Okay, that's 5u and negative 25. Or 5u minus 25. This one, distribute. Distribute, that's 34 and 17n. Distribute, distribute. This is a negative 5, negative 5e. And this is a negative times a negative, which makes a positive 20. Be careful on that. Don't miss that back part. So we have negative 3 times t, negative 3t, and negative 3 times 7, or, oops, this should be minus 21. I need to use my pencil, which I left over on my other tape. 3t minus 21, negative 3t minus 21. Write it like that. This one, 4b and 24. And 4a plus 20. How many got them all? How many made one little mistake? Anyone make the little mistake right here? That's a mistake we make sometimes. All right. Any questions? Yeah, man.
Were we supposed to write it out like that? All of just one in each one?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep. Very good. Okay. Well, I need you to take out yesterday's assignment. Friday's assignment is 1.2. I want to score that. Okay. And then we will dive back into 1.3. Exploration number 1 on page 12 of your student journal. I want to spend a couple minutes on it. I want you to work with your partner and just complete only exploration 1. Okay? Here we go. So, for finding the perimeter, how do we do that? Yeah. Good. Find out the length of each side first, and then you'd have to add them all up, right? So in this case, if I wanted to add all these up, I could say this is 5 plus x. So I'm kind of tracing around. 5x plus another 5 plus 2 plus another x plus 2. And it says the perimeters are the same, so that perimeter equals that perimeter. That means now I can go 3 plus 3/2 x plus 5 plus 4 plus, uh-oh, what's this? How do we know that's 2? Isabella? Good. So if this whole length is 5, that means from here to here is 5 as well. That means if this is 3, this part is 2, which is that. That's plus 2. What's this? Well, this whole length is 3/2 x, right? What part have we used? 4. So this part right here is 3/2 x minus 4. Holy moly. That's one big equation. So, combine like terms, yeah. 5, 10, so all these things. 5, 10, 12, 14. 14 plus 2x. What do we have on this side? Well, we have 3, 8, 12, 14, 10. 10. What's 3.5x and 3.5x? Or 3 halves x and 3 halves x? 6 halves, which is 3 wholes, so plus 3x. Okay, so these pieces come together to make 3. All right, what do you do when you have variables on both sides? That's what we're dealing with today. Yes, Sarah? Yeah, you either have to move the 2x's to get rid of it over to here, or move these 3x's over here. You got to get the variables to the same side. So Sarah wants to move these 2. How do we move the 2? You subtract them. That leaves me with how many x's here? 0. So we get 14 equals 10 plus x. And now we minus 10. Yeah, you could do it a bit differently. So you get 4 equals x. X equals 4. Jason? Explain, yeah, and then find the perimeter. So the perimeter, when you plug it back in, good job. Yeah, you got to plug it back in. 22. Very good. All right. So today we're dealing with variables on both sides of the equation. The key to solve those when they have variables on both sides, collect the variable on the same side first. All right. You'll notice that on the next page, go ahead and turn your journal there. Okay, turn to page 14. 14, it talks about, there's some vocab words. One's an identity. And there's going to be times today when you're solving an equation and you're, like, when you subtract your variable on one side, you get, like, all your variables disappear. Your variable's just gone, and you get something like 7 equals 7. That's called an identity. Okay?
That was called something else, like
infinitely many solutions. Yeah, we call that infinitely many solutions. That's your answer. Infinitely many solutions. Okay, let me actually check something. Just make sure you guys. Okay, and then I want you to read to the very bottom there. You have infinitely many solutions, but then you have another piece there. You could have no solutions. The way you get a no solution, so there's our identity. The way you get a no solution is if you have like 7 equals 6. Can 7 ever equal 6? Nope. That's never true. That's the not equal sign. That means no solution. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, while I'm handing out your assignment for today, actually, better yet, let me get that out here and I'll put one of the problems up. Somewhere in your notes you can write it down. I want you to try problem number 1 and number 3. Solve each equation, check your solution, but work with your groupies though. Remember, 1 and 3, this is off your assignment. I'm going to hand that out right now. All right, let's try these. Collect our variables on the same side, right? How many move the 5t over? How many move the 3t over? All right, so we're going to move the 3t. You could have moved either. I just moved the 3t because more people moved that one. Okay? So that gives me 0 here. I'm subtracting it because it's positive. That's 2t now. Plus 7 equals negative 9. What's the next step? Subtract 7. They're adding it, so we subtract it. Get 2t equals negative 16. Then to undo the multiplication here, we divide. T equals negative 8. Remember, you can always check it by plugging it in. That gives you 5 times negative 8 is negative 40 plus 7. And 3 times negative 8 is negative 24 minus 9. That gives me negative 33, and that gives me negative 33, so we are good. Checks out. Any questions there? All right, tell your neighbor what you got on number 3. Okay, combining like terms, 6 minus 10w is negative 4w plus 3. 7w minus 8. Collect our variables on the same side, so I'm going to 11w equals 11. So 1w is 1. All right.
What did you get for 1?
Negative 8. All right, any questions there? How many got 3 correct? Well done.
Wait, it was only... Oh, I thought you meant like the 3 problems.
No, number 3. Okay, why don't you take a look at number 9. Give number 9 a go. All right, so we get 10f and 15, and we get 10f and minus 2. Can 10f plus 15 equal 10f minus 2? Oh, notice if you subtract 10f on both sides, you end up with 0 and 0, and so you get 15 equals negative 2, which is not true. That's a no solution. Good job. All right. Any questions there? Please turn that page over. You can skip on the back page. I want you to skip number 14 and number 15, please, because we haven't talked about those formulas and I think it's become more of a hindrance there. Okay, I do want you to try 13 and 16, however. Yes, ma'am. No, you've already done them. You don't have to. Yeah, if you didn't do these on this page, 1, 3, and 9, you did them in your notes. That's okay. Just write down the answer for them. You don't have to rework them again. Okay? So you need to finish at the front and those 2 problems on the back, number 13 and 16. Okay? Any questions? Yes, sir. That's a good question. This page right here that you picked up on the way into class, this is your pre-quiz. You have a quiz on Wednesday in here, over 1-1 to 1-3. Okay? So 1-1 to 1-3, that's your pre-quiz. My expectation for you today is that you will go through and you'll be, like if you get a little extra time, you could go through and put some time into this pre-quiz and work on it. Okay? It's never due. I'm never going to collect this. I am never looking at this with you. So if you choose not to do this, that's your choice, but it just means you might not be as prepared for your quiz. The day of the quiz, at the beginning of class, we'll have our tallies on the board. You'll be able to, the most tallies are the ones that I'll cover in the time we have. Okay? So work through it if you have time. Get a good review. It's a good way to review for your quiz. Thank you for reminding me. All right, very good.